Let's also bring in Philippine Star reporter Alexis Douglas Romero, or Ace, who's now in Washington to cover the first trilateral leaders summit there. Good morning, Jaan. Ace.
Magandang hapon dyan, Jovi, at magandang umaga mula dito sa Washington.
Okay, siyempre bibigay namin kay Ma'am Ami yung first question bilang sa naman talaga yung bossing. Go, Ma'am Ami.
Ace, bigyan mo kami ng pang-headline. Wala pa kami ng istorya dito. Ano nangyayari? Mga advancer, anyway, dumating na dyan si President Marcos eh. What can we expect from his meetings with Joe Biden and Fumio Kishida?
Dumating si President Marcos alas 7:47 ng umaga Philippine time. So that's 7:47 p.m. dito sa Washington. So basically, ang main highlight po ng magiging event niya bukas or sa Webes, yung historic na trilateral summit with his Japanese and American counterparts na magsesentro sa security at saka economic cooperation. So nangyayari yung trilateral summit, alam naman natin habang nagkakaroon ng panibagong tension sa South China Sea, pag-uusapan nila yung mas malakas na kooperasyon sa security. Pero napapansin namin na tuwing nagpe-presscon, hindi tinutukoy na nakatuon doon sa national security or sa regional security yung kanilang mga talking points. Lagi nilang binabanggit, no, it's not just the security aspect, no? It's more than that. It's also about economic cooperation. It's about climate change. It's about people exchange. So they tend to diversify yung gagawing trilateral. Although, syempre, alam naman po natin na widely perceived na reaction sa China aggressiveness itong trilateral meeting. Pero the officials of all sides would want us to view it. Kanina sabi ni Admiral Kirby, no, na mas strategic daw nating tignan yung magiging meeting, no? Tingnan natin ang pangkalahatan, hindi lang yung security, kundi rin yung economic, yung hanap buhay, yung human rights, at iba pang aspect daw po ng cooperation.
Ace, ang sabi ng US State Department, that trilateral cooperation will be taken to new heights. Ano exactly ang ibig sabihin nun? We're expecting something new? Are we expecting something new to come out of this summit?
When we ask, Ma'am Ami, no, when we ask Ambassador Romualdez, so what makes this new? Kasi I remember asking him yung press con kahapon. We have already heard yung mga strongly worded statements. We had already joint patrol. So what's new on this trilateral summit? So basically, sabi ni Ambassador Romualdez, the major change will come in the economic aspect. Kasi the leaders will announce a package of several projects, infrastructure cooperation projects that will benefit the Philippines. Details of which remain under wraps. Hindi pa naman binibigay yung details. They don't want to preempt what will happen later. Pero definitely there will be an announcement of vital infrastructure projects. Magtutulungan yung tatlong bansa at pinasure nila tayo na makikinabang ang mga Pilipino dun sa package na tinatawag nila. Nasabi ni Ambassador Romualdez, aabot daw ng $100 billion in 5 to 10 years.
Okay, Jovi.
Yes, balikan ko. I mean, nasabi na rin naman Ma'am Ami ni Ace, yung tukol doon sa mga briefing na isinagawa ng ng embahada natin dyan sa Washington DC kahapon. Pero Ace, I know na yung angle is okay, i-veer away natin, hindi lang to security, marami pang iba. But there was this very interesting statement from Mr. Kirby saying na meron siyang sinabi about China na huwag sila mag-overreact dito sa summit na ito. Meron pa bang ibang mga medyo matatalim na salita na nasabi?
Sinabi niya kasi ang context kasi ng reaction niyang yon is paano kaya ma-shape nung trilateral summit yung magiging dynamic sa South China Sea at saka given na nagkaroon ng recent drills yung Australia, US, Japan at Pilipinas. So naturally, we're expecting a strong reaction from China. So what do you make of this? So basically, tinanong siya, paano to yung mangyayaring summit in relation to those kinds of context. So sabi niya, well, there's no reason for China to overreact because this is in line with freedom of navigation.
Yeah.
This is in line with international law. So sinasabi niya, kung meron naman tayong freedom of navigation, karapatan natin yon, edi yung tayo at saka mga kaalyado natin, lilipad tayo, magdidrill tayo sa mga lugar na pinahihintulutan ng international law. So, wala silang nakikitang dahilan kung bakit magkakaroon ng adverse reaction o kaya ng drastic na reaction yung kabilang panig. Although alam naman natin, Joby, di ba, nagsagawa na raw ng sariling drills yung China bilang tugon dun sa joint exercises ng 4 na bansa. So, pero yun nga, yun yung tinutukoy ko kanina, si Retired Admiral Kirby, siya yung pangunahing nagsasabi na wag din nating tignan ito from the perspective of defense. No? Tignan din daw yung economic, tignan din daw yung people to people, tignan din yung economic opportunities. So, basically yun, siya yung nagsasabi ng ganong i-diversify strategic manner yung pagtingin doon sa gaganaping historic trilateral summit.
Well, tama naman, Ace, yung nabanggit mo, no? Na gusto nila mas broader yung trilateral summit.
Yes,
pero hindi naman maiiwasan na tignan itong trilateral summit na sabi nga historic sa context ng heightened tensions sa West Philippine Sea. So, bagamat yung spin ito ay basically diplomacy, ang main issue rito ay freedom of navigation as well as economic, pero yung dominant picture dito, yung dominant narrative is basically security. Dahil may tatlong intense na developments dito, yung West Philippine Sea at saka yung ating EEZ na ino-occupy ng China, yung freedom of navigation na potentially haharangan ng 9 or 10 dash line ng China, at yung tensions over Taiwan. So, nangyayari itong trilateral na ito sa ganyang klaseng context. At ito yung one of the rare moments ng isang middle-level power or even lower ay na-invite na kapantay ng mga superpowers, no, US at saka Japan. So medyo iba yung political narrative, iba yung images na nangyayari dito.
I agree. Actually po, kung titignan natin yung kabuuang konteksto, kapag binabanggit nila yung economic aspect, hindi naman din nila madidivorce sa defense. Kasi yung pong kakulangan ng freedom of navigation sa South China Sea, definitely it will have, alam naman po natin, it will have an effect delivery of goods, no po, yung transportation of goods. Trillion dolyar po ang goods na dumadaloy dyan sa strategic sea lane na yan ng South China Sea. So, we can also look at it at that way na yung economic po na sinasabi nila na tingnan din natin ang economic perspective, nakatali rin po sa defense. In fact, sinabi rin po kanina ni Ambassador Romualdez na yung economic cooperation between or among those three countries also involves a defense aspect. Kasi po yung cooperation agreement nila sa economy will also involve procurement of military equipment. Yung upgrading ng mga military forces, yung paggawa ng Japan ng mga equipment na maaari nating bilhin for our armed forces. So talaga pong bagamat they're trying to, sabi niya pa, yung word is no? They would want to portray it as something more than security, talaga pong agree naman na babalik tayo sa security aspect dahil nga sa konteksto ng South China Sea.
Isang follow-up question lang, Ace, no? Nabanggit mo kasi, did I hear it right? Sinabi mo na may commitment dito sa trip na ito na $100 million for several years. No? Did I hear that right? 100 million? Well, medyo maliit yun, ha?
Yes,
dahil yung mga commitments ng previous trips ni Bongbong, President Marcos sa US, ay halos lumalampas na ng $4 billion. No? At siguro, isang tanong ay, ano na nangyari doon? Yung mga previous commitments. Ito kasi binabanggit mo na 100 million ay present commitment. Diba? So, yun yung unang tanong. Pero, maliit yung 100 million, ha? Kung for several years.
Ang nabanggit kasi ni Ambassador Romualdez na is 100 billion, Bravo, $100 billion in the next 5 years. So with regard to the previous commitments in the next 5 to 10 years, though yun, Ronald, no? So 5 to 10 years. Yeah. Pero yung sinasabi naman na ano na nangyari sa mga previous trips, ang sinasabi ng DTI sa kanilang huling briefing sa aking pagkakatanda, it's commitments are in various stages of implementation. Some of them have been realized, some of them are already on having their papers processed, some of them they are already finalizing those documents. So basically, ang claim ngayon ng Malacanang is meron naman daw na-realize, although yung iba, ongoing yung follow-up process.
Okay. Ma'am Ami.
Case, ang Japan has been emphasizing hybrid warfare. Sabi ng Japan, yan actually ang hinaharap ngayon ng karamihan sa mga bansa and they are preparing for it. Would you be aware kung merong mga major discussions about it? Kasama dyan yung cybersecurity, paggamit ng AI, paggamit ng satellites. Nandiyan ba yung sino ba mga officials natin dyan who might be discussing that with Japan, with the US, and trilateral?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, there will be a bilateral meeting between the Foreign Affairs Secretary natin, si Secretary Manalo, with his Japanese counterpart. That's 8 a.m. Washington time. So about 8 a.m. po sa atin mamaya. So hindi humalayong pag-usapan nila yung mga modern ways of warfare, including po yung mga binabanggit na AI. In fact, nasabi rin ni Ambassador Romualdez, kasama yan sa mga posible ding maging areas of cooperation natin, yung cybersecurity, kasi everybody's affected by those modern types of threat. Lahat naman po tayo vulnerable sa ganung uri ng warfare, pati sa scams. So, with regard to kung posibleng pag-usapan, it's very reasonable po to assume that they will discuss it given na kasama po sa delegation yung ating mga key security officials, including si National Security Advisor Eduardo Anyo, at saka nandun din po si Defense Secretary Gilbert Teodoro, kasama po sila sa delegation. Kaya hindi po malayo na pag-usapan yung tinatawag nilang hybrid warfare given na sinabi rin naman dati ng ating security officials, we have to upgrade the way we secure our Filipino people, no? And that includes po yung tinatawag nilang modern means of warfare.
Okay.
Saka yung emerging economic cooperation, will it be impacted by these hybrid threats? Kasi yan ang isang controversy din ngayon. Banggitin na natin ang China kahit sabi nilang hindi targeted, no? In fact, that's one of the complaints of China against the US and its allies na ginagamit na daw yung economic matters, trade, at napapasama na sa security. Sinasabi naman ng Japan, hindi daw pwedeng paghiwa-hiwalayin yan Dahil actually, intertwined na sila lahat.
That's true.
Yes.
So, meron din bang ganyang discussion during the trilaterals?
Ang tawag nila dyan, Ami, is soft power. Diba?
Yes.
Yung hard power is the military power. Pero merong soft power na nagko-complement doon sa hard power.
Of course.
Halimbawa, sa China,
Yes.
yan yung Belt and Road Initiative. No? Yung Silk Road. No? Ini-integrate yan doon sa kanilang military expansion. Hindi siya nakahiwalay.
That's
Kaya
true.
tama yun. They are very integrated.
Ace?
Yes, opo. Actually,
Sorry.
yung line na yan na magtatali yung economic sa security, ganun na din po yung linyahan kanina ni Ambassador Romualdez. Lalo na kasama sa economic cooperation, yung pag-acquire ng military equipment to upgrade our armed forces. So, yung linyahan po nila, yung sinabi po ni Ma'am Ami kanina na sinabi ng Japan, they seem to have these kinds of similar thoughts with regard to the relationship between the economy and the security aspects. At saka kung titignan po natin yung mga statements nila kanina sa press con, pati yung mga press releases, lagi hong magkatabi yung economic partnership or any wording related to that and yung maritime cooperation and security. So, kung napapansin po natin, parang laging magkatabi yung dalawang mga aspektong yun, no? Kahit magkakaiba lang sila ng words. So, it seems that they subscribe to the idea that those two things, the economic and the defense aspects, they are intertwined.
Yes.
They seem to believe that po based on what they are telling us.
Last question is, will there be any surprises dyan? Dahil sa podcast ko dyan sa US yesterday at dapat kanina, ay may mga nagsasabi na may mga nagpaplanong mag-rally or mag-demonstrate against the visit of the President. Namomonitor mo ba yan dyan?
We have not confirmed that, pero merong mga narinig kami na among some people, there are plans daw to hold protests sa harap ng White House.
Yeah, that free area,
Dun
that
sa
free zone.
panahon na na kasabay sila sa piho-host ni President Biden, President Marcos. They don't have any idea on what they will protest about or what they will decry.
Yeah.
Although sa mga previous na mga bisis ni President Marcos, parang suki siya ng mga ganong mga protesta.
Of course. Even other
sa
presidents.
Sa ating karanasan, opo, kasi sa ibang presidents at sa ating karanasan, halo-halo naman yung kanilang mga sinasabi, no?
Yeah.
Nandyan yung complaints against supposed imperialism and yung militarization and
That's true.
halo-halo po. Although may mga nagsabi pati daw yung Israel, idadamay nila sa protest.
Tama. Okay. Sabi ni Ronald, Ma'am Ami, last question. Pero isang hirit na lang ako, Ace. Thank you for discussing
Sige,
yung
Joey.
part ng entourage kanina. I'm sure meron pa tayo ibang malalaman from you kung sino pa yung ibang mga sumama. No? Pero since this will be, ito yung first ever trilateral summit among sa tatlong bansa na yan. Siyempre gusto natin yung process and protocol. Kung allowed ka lang, kung ano yung mga allowed na pwede mo sabihin na mga gaganap mamaya na step by step doon sa White House, Ace, para lang merong clear picture or at least an idea yung viewers natin sa magaganap later.
Kadalasan naman kapag may mga bumibisitang leaders, meron silang mga reception, no? Merong mga honors na binibigay kadalasan, no, sa mga leaders na pumapasok, and there's this inspection of troops, and then after that yung usual pleasantries, and then sa huling bisita namin sa Washington last year, nagkaroon lamang ng opportunity yung press masilip yung kanilang unang salvo, yung kanilang yung introductory remarks sa isa't isa na
Yes.
usually mga vague pa lang yun. We are happy to welcome you in this, and then basically emphasizing the stronger relationship between this country and whoever is being hosted, no, na bansa. And then when substantial parts come in, then the press will be asked to leave the venue. So basically, kung papansinin mo, very similar naman yung mga nagiging protocol, no, ng mga usual na pero eventually we are expected to receive joint vision statement from the three leaders with regard to what happened during the meeting, including yung mga topics na napagkasunduan and pati yung mga anumang agreements na na-forge nila during their first ever trilateral summit here in Washington, na sinabi ni Ambassador Romualdez will change or will shape the landscape of the Indo-Pacific.
Okay, may nagtatanong may kita ba natin silang tatlo sa loob ng Oval Office at kayo ba ay will be allowed to take photos or videos from that if ever magkaroon ng ganong event?
So far, we are receiving information from the Media Accreditations Relations Office na walang allowed na litrato, no? Or so far, but we're still clarifying with them kasi nung huli naming pumunta doon sa pagbisita ni President Marcos kay President Biden, pwede naman kasi nagkaroon ng gaggle.
Yeah.
Ngayon we're still clarifying with the Media Accreditations and Relations Office kasi may mga nabanggit na baka daw hindi payagan ng White House yung equipment, video equipment, and we might go back to basics sa pen and paper. We are used to that naman. Pero syempre in the age of digital media, sana meron. So we'll have to see kung ano magiging protocol. So far, sinasabi baka hindi daw pwede, pero things are fluid naman. So let's see, baka naman payagan din nila eventually.
That's true. Doon muna kayo sa press working area. Yeah. Doon muna sila sa press working area, tapos pagpapayagan, i-usher na kayo papunta doon sa loob. Anyway, unless may question pa si Ma'am Ami tsaka si Ronald.
Content natin.
Yeah.
Well, usually kasi, Joby, well-choreographed yung ganyang klaseng mga event, lalo na trilateral yan. No?
Yeah.
At nangyayari yan sa context ng heightened tensions dito. Kaya gusto siguro nila i-manage yung images at saka yung narrative. No?
That's true.
Pero ang problema kasi dyan, yung mga US journalists, hindi papayag dahil ay closed door. No?
Yes.
Baka yung mga foreign pa ay mas madaling i-manage. Pero yung mga CNN, no? Yung mga
The
locals, medyo hindi papayag yan. Mag-iingay yan kung sakali. Kaya malamang payagan naman. Pero gusto siguro nila i-choreograph muna maigi.
Nakahanda naman sila, Ma'am Ami. Nakasuit yan si Ace for sure. If
Yes.
ever. Diba?
Tutulungin ko na si Ace.
Okay.
Hindi
So
ko
let's
yata nakakatulog.
let's say thank you. Let's say thank you to the Philippine Star reporter Alexis Douglas Romero, or Ace, who's reporting for us from Washington DC. Thank you sa'yo, Ace. Thank you rin, Ma'am Ami, for that
Salamat.
permission to use Ace today. Thank
Salamat,
you.
Ace.
Thank you, Ace.
Salamat po. Salamat po.
Okay.